What is going on, people? What is going on? It's your boy Isaac Gordon Jr. I am here with the we're back on the channel and we're about to talk about different kind of stuff. Welcome to the channel, first of all, to all of you that just tuned in. Make sure to definitely like and subscribe as well and share if you have to. That helps us to grow and continue to create content and show that you are definitely being a part of whatever we are doing over here. Now, what I do over here is talk about men's development, how guys could, find themselves in the professional circle and grow, learn to network, and all kinds of stuff like that, and how they could also, in turn, work on their personal growth as well. The other type of content that I also focus on is musical related content as well, because this is something that I am very much a big part of. This is what my actually agency does and stuff like that. So these are all kind of content that you are all going to be seeing from time to time right here on the channel. But as you all see the topic of today's show, it is titled Why Do Men Simp? This is something that we're going to talk about. We are going to dive into this and have a discussion about it, because at the end of the day, we all need to talk about it. The more we talk about it, the more we think what things are, and we try to see if this is something that can help us or actually not help us. It is part of man's development, right? Because that's what we're here for. So, first of all, we're going to have to look up the word simp and actually understand what it means, right? I'm sure you all saw the picture of the title. And further down the line, I'm going to have a good friend of mine who is a dating expert, and we're going to dive into it and explain stuff and stuff. But let me go ahead and translate the meaning of the word simp over here. Let's go to the dictionary and figure this out. So, I'm going to read. Simp is a slang insult for men who are seen as too attentive and submissive to women, especially out of a failed hope of winning some entitled sexual attention or activity from them. Translation: the word simp is meant to troll young men for doing anything for a girl to get some attention he supposedly deserves. Ooh, ooh my. Well, y'all heard what it is. But for the most part, we've all done that before. I have, I'll admit it. And now we're going to talk about it. We're going to try to understand why it is that we do it, what we can do to not do it, and stuff like that, and move on. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite a good friend of mine who goes by the name of Kwame, and we are going to talk about this. Shout out to Kwame. Kwame, what's going on, man?
What's going on, my brother?
Man, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for welcoming me, bro.
I appreciate you. First of all, guys, Kwame is someone that is pretty much very knowledgeable in the dating scene. He understands the behavioral pattern of guys and girls, which is the male nature, female nature, and stuff. And this is stuff that he personally has so much experience and data on. And this is why we are going to be having this discussion with Kwame. So, Kwame, you see the title of today's show. It is called Why Do Men Simp?
Yeah, I saw it.
Man, how do we even start talking about this? What, I mean, I explained the definition of simping, which also comes down to, men doing anything to get a woman's sexual attention, right?
Mm, yeah.
And why do we do this? Because this is something that we have all pretty much done at some point in our lives. Why is it something that we constantly continue doing?
Well, if you ask me, a lot of men nowadays have a scarcity mindset
Mm,
and fear that they, I don't know, won't get the girl that they like or won't get girls at all.
okay.
So we have this mindset of we will like we have to show off, we have to take care of the girl, we have to do everything for her so that she will choose us. And it's also social conditioning behind it,
Mm-hmm.
where, and I know for a fact that every guy has heard that, where when you come into the world as a guy or as a man, the world will tell you, hey, you have to take care of the woman, you have to provide for the woman, you have to protect the woman, you have to love the woman, and if you do that, she will in turn love you back, and you will be happily ever after.
Mm.
And it's also interesting because when you got raised by Disney films like I did,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you will always see in those Disney
Right.
films, where
Right.
the good guy, the respectable guy, or the Prince Charming would at the end of the day get the girl
Mm.
because he saves her from her problems, her issues, and then, he, I don't know, makes her wake up, or he makes the curse go away, and he rides into the sunset with
Mm-hmm.
her and creates his family.
This is so crazy because at the end of the day, when you look on social media as well, you tend to find a lot of simp comments. I mean, we have grown into the age where a lot of influencers or a lot of girls do have a huge tons of validation and male non-sexual attention or sexual attention from social media, where all they simply have to do is just put up certain type of posts, right? And they have guys drooling, right, on their comments and on their posts and stuff like that. And you have comments such as, I'm gonna drink your bath water, and all kinds of stuff, And I find that really interesting because, I've never said that kind of lengthy stuff. I'm gonna drink your bath water to anybody before. That's weird. But then you have guys that put women on this type of pedestal of being like the most perfect thing ever. And this is not to say that women are not great at whatever, but it also looks a lot like women don't seem to be interested in those kind of guys at all.
And you're right. Women are not, and that's the reality of things. Women actually will tell you, whenever you ask a woman what she wants in a guy,
Mm-hmm.
or what she's looking for in a guy, she will tell you she's looking for a nice guy who will respect her, who will um, be a gentleman towards her, who will treat her well, who will love her. But if you pay attention to their actions, for some reason they will always go with the bad boys, with the assholes who treat them like shit, and then they will come back to the nice guy and complain about those guys. And we all have been there. We all have witnessed it. And that's why I say that the reality of things does not look that way. Whatever a woman says and what she does do not align with each other. So guys, please do me a favor and don't just try to be the nice guy and sin because a woman tells you she's looking for a nice guy. Always pay attention to her actions.
That is crazy that you say that. Looking down different kinds of scenarios, you have celebrities and all these shows and all these reality shows and stuff like that. And I was looking at a page on Instagram one time, and it talked about how artists, these R&B singers used to pretty much they kind of had the blueprint of simping, right? And I can't remember who was doing a podcast and I was listening to it, but they talked about how a lot of the records and songs talked in a way where guys, if guys followed that, they would be simping, but the artists themselves did not necessarily live that simping lifestyle. They did not do that, but their music kind of like illustrated that. You know what I mean? And I'm not really sure why it is that they, promoted that kind of thing where guys could in turn, follow that path. But like there was a song of Joe where the video was this Pookie and Ray Ray type of guy, By the way, Pookie and Ray Ray actually means the kind of guys that are, either the corner boys, either the hoodie guys, or, those do rag type of wearing guys that are in the streets, corner of the streets, doing whatever they do. Those are the kind of, because it always comes down to a class of men. But you guys are going to learn about that as we continue producing content. So you had this kind of Pookie and Ray Ray guy fighting with his chick on the side of the road, and he was like, "Oh yeah, whatever," and he walked off, right? So then
Yeah.
Joe is walking with his buddies, and he sees the scenario, and he goes in, smooth with that light skin squint and all that kind of stuff, and he goes to try and talk to her, and he gets her number, and they apparently pretty much goes on a date. Whatever happens after that, I don't know what that is, but this tends to be also a thing that a lot of us try to do is play Captain Saberho. Is that a simping thing as well?
Well, back in the 90s, that used to be the archetype to get women.
Mm.
You had to, you in a way had to be kind of those guys. And especially R&B music is also a way to condition men to simp, to go above and beyond to get the girl. Um, but nowadays, it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. Oh, and by the way, guys, Isaac just talked about Pookie and Ray Ray, so let me explain what a Pookie and Ray Ray is.
Mm.
A Pookie and Ray Ray is basically a guy who does not really care about the girl and who does whatever he likes and who will just hit the girl up at, I don't know, 12 p.m. just to come over and, you know, have his fun and then go back to whatever he's doing. So he's basically the opposite of the respectable guy that treats the girl nice, goes on a date with her, spends money on her, and drives her back home.
Which, in so many cases, this Pookie and Ray Ray tends to actually be the kind of guys that I described, right?
Um, do you mean the R&B guys?
No, no, no. The corner guys, do rag wearing niggas and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah, 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 yeah,
that
yeah,
is what it actually those are the kind of guys that tends to be that. This is why those kind of guys actually, funny enough, they actually get so many of these ladies, right?
yeah.
Because they don't actually care. I
They
have
don't care. They don't have the scarcity mindset, and they get girls easily because they really truly don't care. And that's where the nice guy will always fail and will always lose because he cares too much. And women don't want guys that care more than they care. They don't. I know your mom probably told you so. I know your teacher maybe told you so. Especially female friends will tell you, hey, buy flowers, be nice, be respectable, but don't listen. You don't listen to a fish when it comes to catching a fish. You listen to the fisherman,
that analogy is so
you know?
crazy. Don't listen to a fish when trying to catch a fish. Listen to the fisherman when trying to catch a fish. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is actually pretty. It sounds funny and stuff, but it's deep, right? So
It is spot on.
you're saying when girls say that, oh, you got to buy her flowers and stuff, that doesn't work.
It doesn't work, no.
Okay. But isn't that when they say,
It
"Oh,
sadly
he's so
doesn't work.
cute" and stuff like that, and that was so sweet, and that's very kind of you, thoughtful? That doesn't get you to the finish line where you want to be at.
No. When it comes to women, less is always more. You know how whenever you talk to women and they be complaining about the guys who don't do shit for them,
Right.
and they be crying about these guys and they
Right.
be complaining about these guys, how he never takes them out, how he never buys her anything, how he never does anything for her.
Mm.
It's because they crave these kind of things from those guys because they won't do it.
Mm.
That's the reverse psychology when it comes to these things.
But in return, that actually is attractive to them, to want them to be with those kind of guys still.
Exactly.
Crazy. Crazy. So then, why is it that we have a large number of guys who keep simping still? How can guys come out of that?
It's so ingrained in us guys because us men, we are still the traditional men we used to be like back in the days. We chivalry used to be a big thing. What people don't know is that chivalry used to be a thing among knights, where one knight would show respect to another knight.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, society put it together with treating women good, where women want you to open the door for them, um, pay for the dinner, stuff like that. But like we got trained the wrong way. We got lied on by the society. We got trained the wrong way, and we have to lose that old mindset of being the gentleman, being chivalrous.
Now, okay. Um, when you say we got trained the wrong way, is it that women have changed today, or do men have to change? Because if women are also to learn to appreciate the good guy, do you think that could change the dynamic of how things are?
Women have changed, yeah. Women do have changed. Us guys are basically still the same
Okay.
traditional guys,
Mm-hmm.
but women have changed, and women want to be progressive, and they want to be liberal, and they want to be sexually free, and they they want to do whatever they want to do. They basically want to live the free lifestyles that us guys live,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time they want to get the benefits from the traditional woman that got taken care of by the guy, that got her dinner date paid, you know, that does not have to do anything. So I'm not sure if we're ever going to go back to those days.
Mm.
And women don't really appreciate a nice guy unless it's too late.
Okay.
They don't.
So I have also heard women say in a way that, oh, this niceness and stuff, it tends to lack masculinity and stuff like that, right? But then,
Yes.
I mean, a lot of women do. And for those of you that don't even know, I've got different friends in the LGBTQ community and stuff like that, and they do what they do. That's really what they do. That's cool and stuff. But then you hear women also saying that these men tend to be feminine and stuff, and I'm like, is that a bad thing? Because they at the end of the day also support the LGBTQ community and stuff like that. So I'm like, I just get a little bit confused there because if this is what you do support, and a guy is kind of like, but I also get that people have interest in special, what's the word?
Preference?
Preferences, right? But then, is it a bad thing if someone just has, their feminine sides to them or whatnot?
Well, in the context of a relationship or sexual attraction, it is a bad thing
Mm,
because, like, we can sit here and talk all day that men can be feminine and women can be masculine,
right.
but when it comes to attraction, a woman is and will always be attracted to a very masculine guy.
Mm, mm,
So, and it's a good thing that you brought it up. When you watch TV and you watch those sitcoms, most of the guys on those sitcoms are very effeminate guys.
mm,
For example, Big Bang Theory
mm,
or Two and a Half Men, most of them are very feminine kind of guys. And media tries to tell you that women are into these effeminate kind of guys, which is in actuality not the truth. Women
mm.
don't like these guys in reality. They
Okay.
like masculine guys who are able to put them in their place,
Mm,
who who won't get emotional
mm-hmm.
and who are stoic. Even though they will tell you no, they love a guy who is in tune with his emotions, don't ever believe what they say. Just believe what they do.
Okay, so what they
You
do
know?
is they would actually go to the guy who's not in tune with his emotions, but they will say, "Oh, I like the guy who's in tune with his emotions." But when that guy shows
Yes,
up, they're not. They're gonna friend zone that guy, right?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
This is crazy because now that we just talked about that part, there are so many other points that I just forgot a point right now that is that correlates to this. And when we talk about the Big Bang Theory and stuff like that, I think when we look at that, you have let's bring race into this, right? So you have, because I remember I was listening to a different kind of podcast, and they were saying how a lot of women, like for example, black women don't seem to or are able to be submissive when they're dealing with white men and stuff, right? Because it automatically they feel this power dynamic type of thing, whether they're making more or less, whatever the hypergamy is there and stuff like that. But there's this automatic, feeling there that they can just easily go with that flow and stuff. But when it's a black man, it's a different ball game altogether. And it was a very interesting way when he broke it down and stuff, because he kind of made it, he broke it down from the perspective of, white people are mostly in charge of so many of our industries, institutions, and all that kind of stuff. So it's an automatic feeling of power that they can easily, submit to and stuff. But when it comes to our community and stuff, you don't really have that many black males that are in a position of power or something like that. So it's kind of like difficult. I don't know. What would you say about that though?
I would say he's right, but yeah, it's a really difficult topic because first of all, we're living in a white world.
Mm-hmm.
So um black women will always view white men as, I don't know, maybe more more in charge or more wealthy. And it is true because I have experienced it myself, and a lot of my friends have experienced it, especially my own barber has experienced it. It's like us black people, we know that we struggle and we know how we live most of the time. And black women have a problem or an issue submitting to a black man because they view him as lesser for some reason. But when they date the white guy, they already know that white guy comes from a better household than a black guy most of the times. So him coming from a better household where his family's financially better off than the family of a black guy makes her view him in a different light. And of course, since she's black herself, she she wants to be a part of it, and she's not trying to like jeopardize her situation. So yes, of course, she's going to be able to submit to him way more or way faster than to a black guy, which actually is a sad thing. But I don't know why that is, but it is how it is. And I have experienced it myself that whenever I get to know black women, they be very combative and argumentative, and they will challenge you in whatever topic that is. And that's one of those reasons black men just, we just turned around and went where we are appreciated.
Okay.
To me, in general, people should always go where they are appreciated, no matter the race or color or ethnicity. Just go where people
Right.
appreciate you.
Right. We're gonna it's good that we brought this topic up, but we're gonna get deep into it on a different day. But back to simping, because then it comes where I was trying to get towards with that question was because sometimes we would see some kind of guys as like what the things they do as simping. Like for example, a lot of our counterparts when they would meet women, they are open to, and this is I can't remember where I heard that, but they were saying that when white guys go to the clubs, right, or the strip clubs or whatever, they know that they're there to spend money. They just start throwing their ones and stuff like that and making it happen. So the treatment they even get is completely different from when a brother goes into a joint like that and is not really willing to spend, you know, any crazy amounts. So his treatment is completely different, and it's pretty crazy because then is that simping? Is that not simping? What exactly is it? Because I mean, I could even say the same over here in Germany, where there are certain joints that you go to, and the treatment that other races get is completely different from the treatment black guys get. Because the context to that is that black guys don't really spend money. You know what I mean?
Um, well, yeah. Hmm. How do I tackle that? I'm not sure if that is simping though,
Okay.
because um, it does not have to do with women that directly,
Okay.
because it's more about the club or the bar and
Right.
spending money and they
Right.
making money.
Right.
And simping is more directly towards your behavior to women,
Okay.
you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I also know that women feel that, you know, what women like to do is they like to project a lot of stuff onto guys that they themselves do. So a guy being so nice to a woman makes her feel like he has ulterior motives, because women have ulterior motives when they are being nice to you.
Okay.
You get my point?
So
So
they're
yeah,
just not really nice to you for the sake of being like nice to you like that.
they don't feel like he's nice to you for the sake of being nice. They feel like he's nice to you for the sake of getting in her pants or getting something out of you.
Okay.
But it's because women are like that. It's because when they are being nice to you, they are trying to get something out of you,
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting that we talked about that because we do have to clarify what um, the different parts of what simping actually is so that it's not really misunderstood. So basically, if we are to come down to bring it all down, bring it all home, what exactly is simping? That was the question.
Well, to me, simping would be, for example, you go on your first date and you go into this really expensive, fancy restaurant just to impress her, to make her choose you. Or you go to a club and you're trying to like get her drinks just to impress her. Like whenever you feel like you have to impress a girl with money and like with cars and expensive things, like you're simping, in my opinion. And again, less is always more with women. If you start off that way, you will have to finish that way.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
it's the truth.
Right.
It's the truth. If you start off going to a very expensive restaurant, she will expect you to always go to an expensive restaurant with her. That's why you don't want to start off like that. You just go for a walk. That's it.
But when Sims do that, do they get anything in return from her?
That's the sad, that's the sad thing. They don't get anything in return. They they are on OnlyFans paying 20 euros just to see some foot pictures, bro. So,
Some foot pictures. Oh my god. Oh god. Okay. Okay.
and at the end of the day, she does not respect you guys paying 19.99 to see some foot pictures. Respects the guy that is not on OnlyFans, who know,
It's
gets
it's
her
crazy.
cheeks.
It's crazy because I remember I saw this video of this girl who was I don't know whichever she streamed, I think on Twitch or whatever, and she talked about how she appreciated the guys who were paying and subscribing and why they needed to continue paying and subscribing so she could continue giving them content, and basically she was just appreciating simps, and she was also attacking people who call those guys simps and saying that it's fine to be a simp if that's what you choose to be, because she's benefiting from it, which was very funny. But I think these kind of messages also get men to sometimes continue that path without getting anything in return.
That is true, and I saw that video too. And guys, what you have to understand is that women actually know the game. They have figured out the game since they are like since the age of like 13, 14, where they started to be sexually active. As a woman, when you like get to that age where your breast starts getting bigger
I
and
mean, puberty.
guys starting to notice you sexually, women know what to do to get attention from guys. So women are way ahead of us. They know how to trick us into doing stuff. And of course, if I were a woman, of course I would tell guys that it's a good thing to sin and that it's a good thing to pay for my OnlyFans and for my Twitch account just to be able to see me. Since I want to be able to make money off of those sims, you know?
Right. Right.
So I get it. I can't be mad at her.
Well, this is pretty much what it is that we wanted to uncover so far. We're not gonna extend this any longer. We have dived in. We have explained what pretty much simping is. We have understood the definition. We have understood the definition from you, Kwame, and yeah, I mean, my last question would be, what could guys do to avoid being to avoid simping? What is the path that men could take that would not put them in that simping category if they don't want to simp? And actually, pretty much, I would actually advise guys not to simp because it's not really cool. I mean, at the end of the day, you're doing stuff expecting a kind of result that you're never gonna get, which is just it's just what it is. But yeah, my question to you, Kwame, is what do you think men should do to avoid doing that, avoid following that path of simping?
That's a hard question, to be honest. What is the thing man can do to avoid simping? Um, Guys, you have to start seeing yourselves as the prize. You have to stop seeing women as the prize. Because let's face it, we are actually the ones bringing way more to a relationship, into a situation with a girl, than they are. We're the ones paying for dinner. We're the ones protecting her. Us just being with her makes her feel so much better about herself and her life, and it makes her be mentally at ease. We are the ones always buying these women gifts at like um, anniversaries, her birthday, like special days like Christmas, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day. We bring so much more to the table than women actually do. And when you think about it, like, what has a woman ever done for you? Like, what has a woman actually ever done for you, except for having sex with you? Most of you guys can't even like give me several things that a woman has actually done for you. Has she like made your life easier? Has she bought things for you? Does she cook for you? Does she take care of you when you're having a hard time, you know? And when you view it from that point of view, you're automatically are gonna stop simping. You have to make women invest in you before you invest in them. That's when you're gonna stop simping.
Well, you heard it here first. Make them invest in you before you invest in them. Kwame, I appreciate you being part of this, man. I appreciate your content and you sharing your opinion and your perspectives to this topic. For those of you that are that just tuned in, if you agree, disagree, or whatever it is that you would like to contribute, please go ahead and type that in the comments so that we could know and perhaps we could do a follow up to this show. Kwame, thank you so much for being here, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
And I look forward to having you on the other topics, following topics as well as we continue to create more content. It's been a pleasure, man. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Why do men simp? What can we do to not continue hardcore simping? And why is it that we do it in the first place? So it is what it is. It's your boy Isaac Gordon Jr. and I am signing out right now. Stay tuned for more content regarding men's development, and let's continue to grow. Let's continue to talk about certain situations so that we can actually have the awareness and we can move on and build a better community for ourselves because we need that, right? That's the only way we can survive, thrive, and get to the next level. So we're out.